Embedded system is a combination of both hardware and software which is designed to do a specific task or group of tasks. Embedded systems are part of our daily activities and are used in various applications such as home automation, automotive industries, medical equipments, networking systems, and the list goes on. No matter wherever we go, whatever we do, embedded systems are helping us to provide the comfortness and also the security. More embedded systems are based on microcontroller, microprocessor, SoC that is system on chip, or even FPGAs. The embedded systems work by taking the input from the sensors of the surroundings and process by controlling devices like microcontroller, Raspberry Pi, or Arduino. Further, computation is done based on the sensor values and certain actions are carried out according to the predefined program. Now, let us consider an example of a washing machine. It is specifically designed to do a particular task, that is, washing the clothes. There are different switches, sensors, buttons, displays are interfaced with a controlling device. These controlling device will be working according to the predefined program and the tasks are performed as per the user requirement. In this era, almost all gadgets are being automated from the industries to that of the smart watches. So, before going to the working of the embedded systems, we need to know about the difference between general purpose computing system and the embedded system. The general purpose computing system it is for executing a variety of applications whereas the embedded system it is for executing a specific set of applications. The general purpose computing system consists of general purpose operating system and the embedded system may or may not contain the operating system. The next applications are alterable or reprogrammable in the general purpose computing system, whereas the software of the embedded system cannot be altered in the embedded system. The main key factor in the general purpose computing system is the performance, that is, faster is better. In the embedded system, it is based on the performance, power, and as well as the memory. Coming to the power consumption, it is more in general purpose computing system whereas it is less in embedded system because of less memory and hence it is only for the specific set of applications. The response time it is not critical in general purpose computing system whereas it is critical for some applications in the embedded system. Here the response time is the difference between the first execution time and the arrival time. The last difference is execution. It need not be deterministic in the general purpose computing system and it is deterministic for certain embedded systems. Here deterministic means for a particular input it will always produce same output. But non-deterministic means for the same input it might produce different output. So next going on to the history of embedded systems. Have you ever wondered how remarkable development of the embedded industry has made our life so simpler and easier? It's all due to the invention of and development of semiconductor technology. Because without semiconductors, there is no microcontroller or microprocessor, and without them, there is no embedded systems. Hence, knowing the history is very important, which has made embedded market more successful. The major events which I'll be discussing are in the year 1960, most crucial NASA's lunar mission program called Apollo Guidance Computer was started. The project was developed by Charles Stark Draper at MIT Instrumentation Laboratory. It was the first computer to use the greater circuits with 1 megahertz of clock, 4 KB words of ROM, and 256 words of RAM. This Apollo guidance computer is the first recognized modern embedded system to this world. Later, in 1961, another crucial military project was initiated. It was the Minuteman Missile 1. For this, the Autonetics D-17 guidance computer was developed. It was built from the discrete transistor logic and had a hard disk as its main memory. It was also the first embedded system to be produced in the large quantities. If you want to know about more history of an embedded systems, you can go through the below link. Next, moving on to the classification of embedded systems. So, based on certain criteria, it is classified into four types based on generation, complexity and performance, based on deterministic behavior, based on triggering. The first one, it is based on the generation. The first generation. These are built around 8-bit microprocessors like 8085 and Z80 and 4-bit microcontroller. It is simpler in hardware circuits and the software is developed in assembly code. Example, digital telephone keypads, stepper motor, etc. The second is the second generation. These were built around 16-bit microprocessor and 8 or 16-bit microcontroller. These were much complex and powerful than the first generation processors or the controllers. Example, data acquisition system or the SCADA systems. Third generation, 32-bit microprocessor and 16-bit microcontroller. Here, the DSP, that is digital signal processing, and the application specific integrated circuits came into picture, and also the pipelining concept evolved. Embedded systems spread its ground to the areas like robotics, media, networking, etc. in the third generation. Next, last generation is the fourth generation, that is 64-bit microprocessor and the 32-bit microcontroller. The advent of the SoC, reconfigurable processors, and multi-core processors brought high performance and miniaturization into the embedded device market. The SoC technique implements a total system on a chip by integrating different functionalities with a processor core on an integrated circuit. Example, smartphone devices, mobile internet devices. And the next classification, it is based on the complexity and the performance. That is the small scale. First one is a small scale. It is based on the simple applications where the performance requirements are not time critical, and it was built around low performance and low cost, that is 8 or 16-bit microprocessor or microcontroller. The best example is an electronic toy. The next is a medium scale. It is slightly complex in hardware and software requirement than the small scale. Built around medium performance and low cost, that is 16 or 32-bit microprocessor on the microcontroller. The last one is a large scale. It is highly complex hardware and software built around 32 or 64-bit microprocessor or microcontroller. They are employed in applications demanding high performance. Complex embedded systems usually contain a high-performance real-time operating system for task scheduling, prioritization, and management. The next classification, it is based on the deterministic behavior. It is applicable for real-time systems. The application or the task execution behavior can be either deterministic or non-deterministic, and the execution behavior of these can be classified into hard real-time and soft real-time systems. The last classification, it is based on the triggering. So embedded systems which are reactive in nature can be classified into event triggering and also the time triggered. So based on these two classifications, we'll be discussing in depth in the further videos.